high school, was an offensive lineman in the NFL, started with the Green Bay Packers, ended up with the New England Patriots, and he won not one, not two, but 3 Super Bowl rings. Let's welcome in 3-time Super Bowl champ, Joe Andruzzi. Joe.
Welcome.
Joe, are you with us?
Thank you. How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Thank you so much for being part of our show, Joe. And we know that you're still part of the New England Patriot family. You're very much involved, strength and conditioning, etc. Our first question to you, we know you were in Glendale, Arizona. You were at the game, at the Super Bowl, just a few weeks ago. I guess our first question is, how high did you jump when Butler jumped the route and intercepted that ball?
I turned my back and didn't even see the play because I was pretty upset, thinking they were about to score and that was going to be the game. And the crowd went crazy, and I ran over to the concession stand because the TVs were playing there, and there was a delay. So I had to watch it on TV, and I just, was amazed, and still, it was just an unbelievable play.
It really was. I guess you could say that there's a controversy or 2 ways of looking at it. Was that the dumbest play call by Seattle, or part of it is you have to give kudos without question to Belichick because he knew the play coming. He had his team ready for it, and Butler wouldn't have jumped the route if they didn't know to anticipate it.
No, I do not think it was a bad call. You think of goal line defense. And I heard a stat the next day after the Super Bowl, and Marshawn Lynch was 1 for 5, I believe, on 1 and goal. And you think of goal line defense, football minds, there's 9 guys usually, confined in the trenches there. And it makes it a lot tougher when you have that many guys on defense, fill in every hole, dive into the ground, trying to, make it as tough as possible. And, when they, brought the receiver across and they coaches reviewed every game film that year. And they saw the goal line play and knew what was happening. And Malcolm made just a great play on the ball.
Joe, you would know you played the game in the trenches, offensive lineman. You protected Tom Brady. You won your first championship on February 3rd, 2002 at the Louisiana Superdome. That was the first of the rings. That was when Tom Brady was not really a known entity as he is today. But you know what, Joe? When you played in that game, we're going to go over to our next graphic if we can, because only a few months prior to that, all 3 of your brothers are New York City firefighters. And they only just a few months prior to you winning that Super Bowl, all 3 of your brothers responded to the attacks on the World Trade Center on September 11th. And during a pregame introduction on September 23rd, you ran out onto the field with an American flag in your hand. And your brothers were honored at midfield prior to kickoff. There's Jimmy, Billy, and Mark. I'm friends with Jimmy, and I have to thank him because he was the one that reached out for you and asked you if you'd be good enough to call into the show. So we're grateful for that. My question to you is, how special of a relationship do you have with your 3 brothers?
We're a close-knit Italian family, and you think of an Italian family coming from Staten Island, New York, and a lot of fighting, arguing growing up, and it's never a quiet household. But we're a very close family. They, they're my heroes. I took a different path. I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family. I chose a different profession. But, they have a tough job, and they don't get paid very well to do it. And, they sometimes are working second jobs and stuff like that, and I look up to them, and that day will be entrenched in my mind and many people's minds, and then to turn around and to come out in that field, and they weren't there for me, for themselves, or for the Patriots or Jets who were happening to play, and they were there representing what happened on 9/11, and how many of their colleagues and friends, families, and were affected by that day, by that great tragedy, and to stand there in midfield and know that they were out there. And for me, when I got called out, when the offense got called out that day, and I was just walking out, and it was a spur of the moment thing, and there was 2 flags taped to the wall, and I just grabbed them, and people knew my story, and when I came running out, holding those flags up, it was great feeling to hold those up, to know that we were strong, and we were going to come back stronger, and to go out there with my brothers and know what they stood for out there, and it was just an amazing feeling. And then to cap the whole season off was unbelievable, to be able to hold that Lombardi Trophy up in New Orleans, and I have a great picture with all of us, and knowing that it's a long, grueling season, and to have them a part of it. They're a part of that trophy as much as I am, and my teammates and my teammates' families. But my family and I, we had a very tough year that year, and as many people did. But to be there and hold that trophy up with them, and know that they're still a part of my life, is just an amazing feeling to be a part of it.
That's beautiful, Joe.
It's a great story.
That's unbelievable. Joe, for you to be a 3-time Super Bowl champ, and to say that your brothers, who are New York firefighters, that they're your heroes, that is just a beautiful thing for you to say. We're going to go over to our next graphic, and you made a little bit of a joke of it. You said, I was a black sheep of the family, like almost like, because you didn't become a firefighter. We're going to go over to our next graphic, and boy, this is an unbelievable story, Joe, because as you're a player, you start doing a lot of charity work, and one gentleman that was very near and dear to your heart was a gentleman by the name of C.J. Buckley. He had an inoperable brain tumor, and you spent so much time and effort and money trying to help the family, to comfort the family. He passed away, and you carried on in 2003. You started a research fund, and to this day, you have the Joe Andruzzi Foundation. Amazingly enough, after that, you have a setback, and on May 30th, 2007, you were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's Burkitt lymphoma, and it was predicted to double in size within 24 hours. You had aggressive chemotherapy treatment over several months. And thankfully, Joe, you are cancer-free now. But we're looking at, as if that story is not amazing enough, you're, in that picture, you're carrying a woman because you were doing an event at the Boston Marathon, and you're planning on a victory party of sorts, and then all of a sudden there's an explosion and there's injured people, and you're carrying a woman away in your arms. Do you remember that day, Joe?
Yes, very vividly. So to just revert back quick, and we started a brain cancer research fund in honor of C.J. Buckley, just a great kid, and God works in funny ways, and I met numerous of kids and that were sick, and befriended him because, I believe that he battled cancer, and faced it head on and never let it get him down. Just a, great kid, great family. His family are my kids' aunt and uncle now, and they're a part of my foundation. But then, we raised over $500,000 during my playing days here. And then a year after, I'm calling that doctor for my own help. And it was a tough battle that I had, and coming back to Boston, and knowing that the best treatment was here for me. To come back here and make home here now has been a little bit easier for me. My my own family. Now I have 5 kids, and getting back on my feet and knowing that we had to move forward. And my wife Jen and I put together and started more her. She did it. She started researching by my bedside while she was holding my head up when I was throwing up, and wanting to do more. We raised money and donated it to Boston Children's Hospital. Now we wanted to, being through it ourselves, wanted to touch people on a personal note. So we started the Joe Andruzzi Foundation. We give financial assistance to families and individuals that are going through the cancer battle, and we help with those home end bills that sometimes people forget about, and mortgages, rent, utilities, and it's been an unbelievable road we've been on, and it just keeps going higher and higher. We love every minute of it. It's truly rewarding to walk into a hospital and get a great big hug from a stranger, and them telling us thank you for helping pay their mortgage, so we can relieve a little bit of that burden, so they can focus in on their loved ones. But 2 years ago, in our process of growing as a foundation, we had a team in the Boston Marathon. We had 21 runners running for the foundation, trekking that 26.2 miles, and every step raising money for the foundation and training. Unfortunately, they did not finish that day. My wife and I were greeting some of our runners that were crossing the line at we were at Forum Restaurant on Boylston Street, and the explosion happened by the finish line, and then the second explosion happened right in front of Forum. So for myself, I was just turned around, just tried to help, and found some people we knew crossing the line, brought them to the tent, making our way back, and finding 3 young girls trying to carry their mom on their back and dragging her feet. I ran over there and, thank you, just react. And, it's, definitely from my upbringing, from my grandparents to my parents, and, bringing up us 4 boys, like going out there and the little things, just holding a door open, or, treat people how you want to be treated, and to turn around and, scoop that woman up and walked her down the block to an ambulance, and then calming the girls down and turn around and finding out everybody was okay within, my foundation, and was a, true blessing. But a year later, going back there, and this past year was truly amazing. We had 50-plus runners coming back in celebration and, cherishing that day, because, they weren't going to get us down. And to come back stronger than ever as a foundation, as a town, and to know that we were out there doing our best and getting people out there to run that marathon and do it for many reasons. And it was just an unbelievable feeling to go out there and then to know that the woman that I was carrying, she strapped on her shoelaces and running shoes, and she was out there running the marathon last year, which was truly amazing.
Wow, that's
Pretty
amazing.
amazing.
And Joe, with you carrying that woman, I mean, the parallels between you and your brothers being involved in 9/11 and you with the Boston Bio, the parallels are just uncanny. What we're going to do is
through my battle with cancer and through that battle, I just I know in speaking, my brother Jimmy was one of the first responders and just made it out while Tower 1 was falling behind him.
Heroes.
He was very close to he was very close to losing life, and he's been told what doesn't kill you gets you stronger, and he's told me that through my cancer battle, and then told me that once again after the Boston Marathon bombings, and you get stronger every day, and you gotta keep moving forward, and you can't let it get you down, because you have to keep living.
Well, as you said, I mean, I don't know your other 2 brothers. I do know Jimmy from the gym that I belong to, Dolphin Fitness. He's one of the strongest guys in the gym. He's got so no shock there. We'll go over to our next graphic, G22. Tom Brady, bedside. And you and obviously a cancer patient, and they have 3 rings on their on their finger with a huge smile. And there's Tom Brady with his arm around that person, and you too. I mean, really, I mean, this is a side that we don't see all the time of these athletes that we see. But I mean, it just
Tom is truly the greatest competitor, best quarterback, I think ever right now to play this game, and he. He's another one, a product of his environment. His parents, I know very well, and his sisters. He had a great upbringing. They are, awesome family, and he is truly the same person that he was when he first got in this league. He's genuine. He's respectful, and his play and his ability, and his wife, of course, has brought it to a new level where he can't just go out to a restaurant, but he is truly a genuine guy. And I had asked him that young woman in the picture has passed on, but I had asked him that was her one of her wishes was to meet Tom, and we were able to make that happen. And it was just an unbelievable hour that he spent there with her, and she was, they were telling us how she was never lost for words. And then when Tom walked in, she didn't speak very much, and then told him to get a haircut.
Wow. That picture says it all. And Joe, we want to thank you for taking a couple of minutes. We know you're busy. When Jimmy spoke to me today, he said, Mike, knowing my brother, he'll probably do it, but I just want to let you know. And we all know. We watched it. You got 8 feet of snow up there. We know what that part of the country, how severely you've been hit with the weather. I'm going to sum it up this way, and we're going to go over to our next graphic, and it's a picture of you and Roger Goodell. And you're holding up a jersey with the number 617, so that's the area code for Boston, and it says Boston Strong. And we want to tell all of our viewers that the Joe Andruzzi Foundation is committed to providing help, hope, and a reason to smile for cancer patients and their family by contributing financial and emotional support when it's needed most. Joe, we want to thank you for coming on the show, and that's as strong as you can get. That is as strong as you can get.
Our slogan is upbeat cancer. It's all about staying upbeat and positive, keeping that smile on your face through those toughest times, no matter if it's cancer or any other disease.
Well, we're going to make a donation to your cause, and we're going to tell all of our viewers, please go over to joeandruzzifoundation.org. Joe, thank you for taking a couple of minutes.
Good luck, Joe.
No problem. Thank you very much, everybody.